What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, just another PucketTuber, coach of the coach of your Piedmont Triad Kickers, coming at you today with Week 8 of Josh's League. Today we are taking on I'm Destroyer, coach of the Emerald City Extremespeeds. I know you guys are probably like, hold up, isn't he the Washington Wakes dude? Well, they rebranded, and this is week 8. This is the final week before the end of the season. We're locked in for playoffs, no matter what the result of this game is. So yeah, we're here to play, a homie. I'm Destroyer, as per usual, has a pretty threatening team, which consists of Meowscarada, Terra Glamora, Klefki, Rotom Wash, Donphan, Terra Slitherwing, Espeon, Volcarona, Dragonite, and last but not least, the Terra Munchlax. Personally, I think he's going to bring Meowscarada, probably brings the Terra Glamora. Donphan's definitely coming, and so is Rotom Wash. His team does not like. Okay, he's gonna definitely bring Donphan, Rotom Wash, and Dragonite because outside of those three, his team does not like to be in front of Cinderace at all. So I'm assuming he'll bring those three because he just knows I'm gonna bring my Cinderace. Um, and then I feel like he's gonna bring Meowscarada and Terra Glamora, and the last slot could either be Klefki or Espeon. Espeon could come as a way to like magic bounce hazards. However, I don't know because at the end of the day, we are a Spite Ops. So if you come in on, let's say, a first impression or a U-turn, okay, yeah, you're gonna feel us. But I can also see Klefki coming because maybe they run their screens to counter my screens. You never know. So to combat this team, first and foremost, we decided we're going to bring, and I kind of swelled it. We're bringing Peter Parker to Spot Ops, who's rocking his Focus Sash. Stakeout for the ability, 252 HP, 216 defense, 40 split F. Basically means anything that's not hitting us super effectively is probably not going to two-shot us. Well, one-shot us, I should say. We have Sticky Web, Spikes, Circle Throw, and First Impression. You guys already know the deal with Sticky Web, Spikes, and Circle Throw. They're just the hazards you want to set, and circle throw is for phasing, and then first impression is because, well, there's an Espeon and a Meowscarada right there, so it just gives us a way to hit hit them first, and then Meowscarada in particular just dies to a first impression. Espeon could potentially live, but Meowscarada, there's just no world where you live this hit. That is Peter Parker. Next on the team roster is the one, the only, the trickster himself, Loki, who's rocking his light clay. Prankster for the ability, 252 HP, 120 defense, 136 spit F, Impus Nature with Reflect, Thunder Wave, Spirit Break, and Parting Shot. Thunder Wave is just like if after Meowscarada proteins itself out of it being a dark type, okay, we can just T-Wave it. If Dragonite starts setting up, we can just T-Wave it. Albeit, if Espeon is there, we run the risk of maybe getting the T-Wave bounce back to us, but then it's like, are you going to switch Espeon into a potential, I don't know, like a false surrender or something like that? So, we'll see. We'll be testing our opponent's gangster. We have Reflect because I'm more so scared of my opponent's physical attackers and the special attackers. In other words, I can switch the special attackers a lot better than the physical attackers. So we have Reflect, we have Spirit Break, so we can hit things like Dragonite and Meowscarada after it's paralyzed super effectively, and then we have Parting Shot for pivoting. But yeah, that is Loki. Next on the team roster is the one, the only, our Terra Captain, Kakashi, who's rocking their heavy-duty boots. Volt Absorb, Terra Ice is our Terra type this week, 120 HP, 112 special attack, 244 speed, Modest Nature with Thunderbolt, Psychic, Terra Blast, and Nasty Plot. If we can Nasty Plot once, we will kill Dragonite through his multi-scale, and by extension Meowscarada. The Glamora, if it does not Terra, will die to a Psychic, and pretty much everything else dies to a Thunderbolt except for Donphan, who we can also just Terra Blast Ice. And it's not really a whole lot Donphan can do. Now, ideally, we do want to break Donphan sturdy before we start setting up. But like Donphan, Meowscarada, Dragonite, all of them get just blown to heaven by a Nasty Plot. Well, Dragonite might go to hell. You never know. But everything else, we can just Psychic or Thunderbolt. You guys get the idea. That is Thunderous Therian. Next on the team roster is one of our... Okay, I'm gonna just spoil you guys. We brought the starters this week. So the first starter we're bringing is the one, the only, Oswald the Empoleon, who's rocking their leftovers. Competitive for the ability, because there's like there's not really like a guaranteed way to get the competitive like pop, but a lot of his moves that might like his offensive moves on things like, for example, we could switch thinking to Espeon, right? If Espeon goes for a mystical fire, oh, +2 boost. If it goes for a psychic and drops R, I think it's the Spadefic and drop, boom, +2 boost. You guys get the idea. But anyway, we are 252 HP, 120 special attack, 136 Spadef, modest nature with Surf, Ice Beam, Flip Turn, and Roost. Roost is obviously to keep us healthy. Flip Turn is for pivoting in and out, in particular because I'm pretty sure Rotom is coming, so we don't have a way to really hit Rotom super effectively, if at all, so it's just better for us to try to raid the Rotom play and just Flip Turn, and then Ice Beam and Surf for everything else, like, like Meowscarada and Dragonite, we can just Ice Beam, and everything else we can pretty much just Surf. So yeah, that's Oswald. Next on the team roster is our Grass starter, the one, the only Usopp the Decidueye, who's rocking their Cobra Berry. Overgrowth for the ability, 192 HP, 100 attack, 216 speed, Jolly Nature with Leaf Blade, Poltergeist, Dual Wing Beat, and Swords Dance. If I can SD, like, we just do unholy levels of damage to just about anything we want. Like Rotom, we can just Leaf Blade it. Meowscarada, we can just Dual Wing Beat it. Everything else, we can kind of just Poltergeist and just let it be that. And then, of course, we have the Cobra Berry because of Meowscarada being a Dark type, and she would actually one-shot us with knockoff otherwise. But because of the Cobra Berry, we have a chance to kill her instead. So yeah, because if Meowscarada knocks us off, it'll still put us in overgrow range, in which case we can just click Leaf Blade and kill it with an overgrow boosted Leaf Blade. So yeah, that is Usopp. Next on the team roster, the last but not least, I don't think it's even a surprise, it's the one, the only Sanji the Cinderace, who's rocking his heavy duty boots. Libero for the ability, 252 attack, 72 defense, 184 speed, Jolly Nature with Powerball, Zen Headbutt, U-turn, and Court Change. Court Change is a reverse any hazards my opponent might set. And also, if Espeon were to hypothetically Magic Bounce our webs back to us, we can just go into Cinderace and Court Change the webs back anyway, because Magic Bounce does not block Court Change. So yeah, eat it, Espeon. We have U-turn for pivoting. We have Zen Headbutt because honestly, Powerball is pretty free into the team, and the things we can't Powerball would be like Glamora, Rotom, Dragonite, and the best neutral move I could find for them was Zen Headbutt, which kind of stinks, but it is what it is. We have to work what we got, you know. But yeah, guys, that is the team. Not really much more needs to be said. So without further ado, let's get into the battle. Good luck, have fun to my opponent, Destroyer. Hopefully this battle is a banger. All right, so we are connected with our I can't get my words out. Our opponent, I'm Destroyer, or in his game, he's just known as Destroyer. He's just the destroyer of worlds. That's just who he is, right? That's just who he is. So, before I look at his team, let me take a note of this. He has a Terra Ghost, Munchlax, and a Terra Ground Glamora. I am not going to lie to you. I did not think he was going to bring Munchlax. I'm actually shocked. So let's see what he brought. He brought Meowscarada. Thought so. Dragonite. Thought so. Dragonite's like his mascot, dude. Glamora. Figured. Espeon. Okay, so Dragonite, Glamora, Meowscarada, and Rotom Wash I kind of expected, but the Espeon and Munchlax, kind of not. So, what do I do here? I think I lead off with... Wait, do I lead off with you? No, I don't lead off with you. I lead off with... Alright, we're going to lead Empoleon. Because I don't think it's smart for us to lead Spidops, because he could easily just... he could easily just lead Glamora, and then either A, Power Gem us, or B, just go into the Espeon, who... That could be a little annoying. Especially considering, I mean, but at the same time, you throw an SP. See, I should have just let off with Cinderace. Honestly, no, I should have just let. No, see, I didn't want to lead Spidops because if they break our Sash, then you get the idea. So we're just gonna go for a flip turn here. We're just going to flip turn. We should be slower than them, so let's see. All right, they withdraw. So who do they go out into? I'm assuming they go into Rotom. Makes the most sense to me. Helping. Huh? Yo, I'm not going to tell you what that sounds like a reference to me. I'm not going to tell y'all what that sounds like a reference to me. Let me see something. Do we outspeed this thing? It's possible. He did not name it Help I'm Stuck. He did not do that. He did not do that. There's no way bro did that. Okay, I think we just go into this guy. That's so funny. He doesn't even have Donphan, so we don't actually need Decidueye to be a spin blocker per se. Um, okay, so I think we just go for damage here. Because I'm trying to think, what are his reasonable switch-ins? It's just, I mean, he doesn't really have one if I'm telling it like it is, bro. Like, you have Dragonite, but then Dragonite doesn't want to take the follow-up, um, Dragonite doesn't want to take the follow-up Poltergeist either, so I think we just go for a... I want to set up, but I'm just go for the Leaf Blade, because the one thing I don't want to do is... The one thing I don't want to do is set up right now, because, like, Willow, you're faster! Alright. We just have to deal with that. We just have to deal with it. We just have to deal with it, but we can still get good chip on this thing. Oh my gosh, was that a crit? Yeah, that was a crit. That was a crit, bro. I think what we do now is just... You surely don't stay in, right? Surely you don't stay in. So I think I go for a Poltergeist here. Surely they don't stay in on us. Surely they don't. Surely they don't. Because you can't even pain... If you have pain split, you can't even click it against us because we're a ghost type. So I don't think you stay in. I don't think you stay in. Alright, thought so. I could have maybe went into Thunderous there to trap him, but it is what it is. So Decidueye is important, but also not important. So one of two things happens. Either Dragonite comes out or Meowscarada comes out. If Dragonite comes out, we're going hard El Primero. Oh, it's this thing. Leftovers. Okay. We do pennies for damage. Wait, did that not... I'm confused how that works. I'm kind of confused how that works. We're going to go hard in Polion here. I'm assuming they're going to try to get up hazards, maybe? They could go for the Earth Power, but we should be able to take it. Now, double Earth Power into Terra? I don't know about that one. I honestly don't. But, one thing I do know, if we can force them to Terra, Decidueye can come back out and just Leaf Blade. But regardless, they have to switch out because they just have to. They just have to. They kind of just have to. So we know that Rotom has Volt Switch and Will-O-Wisp. Okay. It could just be the standard set, like Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, Will-O-Wisp, Thunder Wave. Could just be the standard set. Ah, they got us. They caught us. They caught us. They caught us. They caught us slipping. Wait, actually, I think they kill us if we, But I mean, here's the thing. They don't kill us with a second one. And I'm just going to fire off a Surf. I'm just going to fire off a Surf. They have to Terra to kill us, and if they Terra, that means the Munchlax isn't going to Terra, which honestly, I think I'm more okay with that. I think I'm more okay with it. Especially considering, now that I think about it, if they Terra, I'm pretty sure I can just... If after I chip it with, like, the Decidueye, I'm pretty sure Thundurus just deals with this thing handily. Oh, okay. They're gonna withdraw. Makes sense. They don't want to use the Terra yet. Which, you know, we could have maybe used this turn to surf. I mean, not surf, but roost. But it is what it is. Ooh, we doing good damage. So now we just go back into Decidueye and just go for we're just gonna go into Decidueye. I mean, they could just Volt Switch here, which makes a lot of sense. It's either they Volt Switch or they I don't think they're gonna Wisp us, are they? Let's go into this though. It's our best because I mean we resist both stabs. They could. The only reason why I think Wisp is possible, despite us being a special attacker, it would actually counteract our leftovers. So let's see what they go for. Hydro Pump. All right. How much damage is it doing? Pennies for damage. Okay. I know for a fact you don't stay in. So I I'm going to just go for the. I'm gonna just go for a sword stance and see what they do. Volt switch. They're gonna volt switch. If they go Meowscarada, does the Cobra Berry stop us from? Well, actually, let's see what they actually go into first. If they go Meowscarada, we can El Primero. Okay, guys. So, as you can tell, my voice is different. But I'm still me. I'm still him. I am still Brandon P, also known as just another PokeTuber. So, to make a long story short, if you guys haven't figured it out by now, my actual audio, like the audio, like my voice audio went out. So, come to find out, my microphone has a mute button on it, which isn't a surprise to me. I feel like most microphones, if not all microphones, have a mute button, but I did not know where my mute button was despite having this microphone for like over a year. So I accidentally clicked it. I noticed that my microphone started changing colors and like I just didn't know why. And I realized after the game, oh, because you muted me. That's why you were all red. Makes a lot of sense now. Red means, considering it's green any other time and red that time, okay, that should have been a red flag to me. But here we are. So I'm doing some post-com. Hopefully I can get my voice and the actual, the game music in there. And if not, well, it is what it is. So as you guys just saw, we just lost Decidueye. It was really tough, but I was just sitting here, like, at this point, Decidueye. Actually, did we just lose Decidueye? I'm not going to lie. I was monologuing so long that I kind of forgot what I just did. If I'm, I know I just got power gemmed. Actually, I probably just died because now that I think about it, I was already pretty weak. But I know we flip turned right here because I'm sitting here like, bro, it's kind of obvious Rotom's coming out. Honestly, I would just leave the video. Yeah, we let Decidueye die. Because at that point, because we were Cobra Berry, but even at that point, we don't take the knockoff anyway, so it kind of just defeated the purpose. So now we're into Cinderace because I know for a fact from where Rotom is at, you're dying to a U-turn. Because I know U-turn does, basically a quarter of Rotom's health, even if it's a defensive variant. And, I mean, I know my contacts get foggy from time to time, but I'm pretty sure that's a quarter of his health. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, my contacts be getting foggy, but I'm pretty sure that's a quarter of his health. And, down goes help, I'm stuck. I'm not going to lie. In my actual commentary, when I saw the name Help, I'm Stuck, I just, I started laughing, hysterically when I saw that was the name because, for anyone, for all of my, I'm assuming everyone who watches me is an adult, but I think a lot of you, I don't want to go into too much details in case someone's child ends up watching this video for some reason, but I think you guys can understand where a fair amount of adult humor can come from seeing a washing machine nicknamed Help, I'm Stuck. I'm pretty sure you guys can see where the adult humor comes from in that. And if not, well, I can't go into too much details here. So we have Empoleon in front of Meowscarada. I still wanted to keep Empoleon healthy for later because of Espeon. So instead of taking over half from Flower Trick, I just decided to go out into my Grimmsnarl. So the thing is, Flower Trick does not kill us, and there's a good chance, depending on his defense investment, we could have knocked him out with Ice Beam. However, I didn't want to risk the chip in case I needed it for Espeon, because Espeon, for all we know, could be packing Will-O-Wisps, it could be packing Alluring Voice, Dazzling Gleam, or worse, Draining Kiss. So Loki isn't it's not the best way to answer it. So we decided here that we're just going to go for the T-Wave because Meowscarada has not Terrored, but it Proteened out of its dark typing. I genuinely went for this play because I was sitting here there's no way in the world that Espeon comes in on me because one of two things could happen. Either I could go for the Spirit Break or I can go for False Surrender. Those are the main like moves that Grimmsnarl are known for clicking. So I'm sitting here like this should be a free Thunder Wave in theory, right? Like this should be a free Thunder Wave. But as you guys can see, my opponent called me on my bullcrap and goes into, well, Espeon, and I'm just sitting here like, boy. And I'm not gonna lie. In the video, I did say this is kind of bold because let's say hypothetically I had false surrender, right? I would have knocked this thing completely out from where, like, unless he's like super duper bulky, because we're not the most offensive. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure I still knock you out. I have base 120 attack, and this would have been stab boosted. But like I said, we did need to keep our Empoleon healthy for such a situation like this. Because Empoleon's kind of only thing we have at the moment for special attacks. So we really had to keep Empoleon healthy, especially considering, one, we do have Roost, two, the Rotom is gone, and three, I know for a fact, I can't remember if Glamora is still alive or not, but I know for a fact that we can still take a Earth Power. And like I said, guys, we might have to deal with Alluring Voice. Alluring Voice is a lot better than Draining Kiss, I'll tell you that dang much. Albeit, this isn't a Terra Espeon, so it kind of doesn't surprise me. But I'm still baffled he stayed in, because once again, if we went for a dark type move, that thing would have been dead. I haven't done any calcs on this, but I'm pretty sure you die, because Espeon's physical defense is not that great. And once again, Grimmsnarl is packing that base 120. Like, there's a reason my homie looks like he's swole, because he's strong like that. You feel me? So he ends up going back to Meowmander, and I can't remember what we just clicked. We clicked Ice Beam because we were kind of predicting this or Dragonite coming in. So he has a little bit of bulk on Meowmander. Either that or we just low rolled Ice Beam, because I think Ice Beam actually has a roll to kill. So there's a good chance we probably just low rolled it. But I'm sitting here like, either Dragonite comes in or the Meowscarada comes in, because I don't think I've shown him Ice Beam up to this point. I think I've only shown him Surf and Flip Turn, because I don't think I've even roosted yet. Actually, we haven't roosted yet. I still have all 8 of them. So yeah, he still doesn't know all the things we have. Actually, yeah, we haven't shown him Ice Beam to this point, because we had 15 out of 16 and not 14. So yeah, he had not seen Ice Beam up to this point. And I said at this point, you know what, bro, let's just kill this thing, because in my mind, if we can kill Meowscarada, where we are in the game, Thundurus can should theoretically be able to deal with everything else. Like, sure, Espeon is there, but at the same time, Miss Espeon, we still have Grimmsnarl, we still have Spidops, who is super Spidef, if I'm not mistaken. Well, maybe not super Spidef, but Spidef. Actually, no, we're not super Spidef, but I remember doing calcs in the middle of the game, and I was sitting here, and I noticed, like, Espeon is not 1v1 us. Like, it would have to be, like, even with Mystical Fire, it wasn't two-shotting us, I'm assuming, because it's not stab. Because if I remember correctly, we're actually max, like, defense on Spidops because of things like the Dragonite. So we decided to go for the Roost here, because I'm sitting here like, okay, this is a Munchlax. What does Munchlax like to do? And I found out immediately what Munchlax likes to do. Munchlax likes to curse. Like, it likes to play curses. Like, okay, that's not cool. That's not cool at all, Mr. Munchlax. Even your big brother Snorlax doesn't just boldly come in front of royalty like Empoleon, also known as Oswald, and just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna curse on you. So we had a play to make. I knew that this thing is relatively bulky, but I did want to, and like the thought process either we test the bulk, or we just pivot out into something, expecting him to curse again and try to set up. So we had to make that decision, and we decided to go for just the flip turn into Thundurus. Like, I actually remember this play. We flipped turned into Thundurus. And the reason I remember this play, right? So let me tell you the thought process. In my mind, okay, we can go into Thundurus and just click Nasty Plot and, blow through this thing, because he's cursing, which means you have boosted physical defense, but your Spadef is not, all that boosted. But in this moment, I realized I made a major mistake that might have just cost me the game, and I'm going to tell you guys what I did. So, as we all know, Munchlax, more than likely, there's no leftovers recovery going on, so more than likely it's Eviolite, right? So let me tell you the issue with me going into Thundurus here. I'm going to set up, as you guys see, and then try to attack this thing, but this thing is Eviolite, and because it is the descendant of Snorlax, you have decent Spadef. What I should have always done first was gone into Spidops clicked knockoff and then gone into my Thunderous. But that's not what I did. I went into Thunderous first. Because if I would have knocked off Munchlax first, there is a good chance we could have went back into Thunderous, nasty plotted, and then just, killed it. Because let me see the damage. So if we did that much with him having a 50% boosted Spadef, I have a good. I can be wrong, but I'm pretty sure without that Eviolite, there's a good chance we either I'm pretty sure we kill him. I'm pretty sure knockoff would have put him in range of him dying to a +2 Thunderbolt. And something we could have done to circumvent the damage from the Body Slam after we saw it, which is going to Grimmsnarl and then Parting Shot out. Or just, there's different things we could have potentially tried to do. Because what we could have done is just went into for example, as we saw, he decided to rest. Something we could have done, we still had Thunderous after knocking this thing off, is just go into the Grimmsnarl and Parting Shot out into Thunderous. This thing would have still been asleep. We could have nasty plotted, done some crazy damage to it, but that's a hypothetical. It's not what actually happened. But I have to acknowledge I did mess up by not just going into Spite Ops first. Why I didn't consider this, I don't know. Because honestly, I knew this thing, if you're hitting Thunderous, you're going to hit me neutrally. You're a freaking normal type. So I knew I wasn't going to resist anything it was going for. So this is kind of just like that was just some silly stuff on my part. I can't even deny it. I can't even be upset about it. It is what it is. So now this thing wants to start clicking Sleep Talk. Why are you sleep talking, sir? You're irritating me. I don't like you, at all. You're so annoying. Munchlax is actually one of the I'm not gonna lie, I actually do like Munchlax. I like it as a Pokemon. I like the design. Because you guys have to understand, I grew up in a time with actually, I've always watched all the seasons of Pokemon, but when I was growing, when I really, really, really got into it was during Sinnoh. And you have to understand, actually, no, not even Sinnoh, it was Hoenn. So for those of you who remember Hoenn, May, the main, she was the secondary protagonist besides Ash. She had a Munchlax. I want to say it was in the Battle Frontier section of Hoenn where she finally got one. But she had one, and then you got to watch her journey with it. Bro, that thing was kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie. I wanted a Munchlax ever since I was a kid. So when I finally got Diamond and Pearl and got me a Munchlax as a kid, I was a happy boy. I can't deny it. But we're beyond that now, because now we have to kill this thing, because you're in the way of me potentially winning this game. And I meant to mention, the only thing we're avoiding is a rematch in playoffs, which I don't want. And so I'm kind of breaking the fourth wall with this one, but let me tell you guys something kind of funny, because me and my opponent talked after the game, right? So he wasn't aware that after he terra'd, okay, let me rephrase that. He knew as a ghost type, Curse works the way it works with ghost types. However, he forgot that's how it worked when he made his build. So in his mind, I can go Terra Ghost and keep setting up. So when he cursed just now, he wasn't actually trying to inflict damage on Empoleon. He was actually thinking he could continue to boost himself up, just to find out, oh, wait. It was so funny when we talked about it, because I'm sitting here bro, that's kind of funny. Especially considering he forgot how Curse works with the interaction. I forgot to make my freaking Empoleon competitive over Torrent. So the only reason we actually killed him just now is because we were Torrent over competitive. So we're getting 50% boosts on our water type moves at the moment. And I'm pretty sure. Now, from here, my memory gets kind of foggy, but I'm pretty sure Glamora comes out here, because Dragonite's not coming in on us unless it has EQ. Espeon's not coming in on us, because what are you going to do to us that doesn't involve us hitting you? So he's going into Dragonite, which tells me, okay, this Pokemon definitely has Earthquake. So we have options. Either we can go into Peter Parker, who resists the Earthquake, and potentially, and we could potentially just go for a Circle Throw, but we actually opted to just go into the Grimmsnarl instead, because I felt like Empoleon still had value in the sense that we still don't die to a hit from freaking, what's that thing called? Espeon. Even we just don't, unless you have Mystical Fire, which if you do, okay, cool. So here we were trying to just T-Wave him, but something that kind of slipped my mind is my priority bracket. So yeah, that Extreme Speed, it completely slipped my mind. Yeah, you're going to outspeed us, buddy. So what I probably should have done was just sacked Oswald there, and then went into Loki. and then just either A, parting shot it, or B, just clicked T-Wave, one of the two. But that's not what we did. So now we're in front of this thing. We're going to click... Wait, what did we just click? Did we click spikes just now? I hope we didn't click spikes. I think we... Wait, no. I think we clicked knockoff. We clicked knockoff. I'm tripping. We clicked knockoff. I'm sitting here like, wait, why are we spiking? No, that transition just went a little too fast. So yeah, we decided we're just going to knock him off. Whatever items he's had. Like, that's the best move we have. That's just the best move we have. Oh, I forgot. We didn't bring spikes this week. We have knockoff, circle throw, and first impression. I'm tripping. Actually, I don't think I reported that correctly in the freaking team builder either. So if I didn't, like if I have spikes in the team builder over knockoff, we made the decision just to put knockoff at the last second because of Espeon potentially coming. And I was like, well, let's not try to hazard stack the Espeon who wants to just, albeit we have a court changing Cinderace, you feel me? So we don't want to die to this. We just don't. So we decided the best thing for us to do was just to sack Oswald because, at this point, I didn't know if Espeon was scarfed or not. And clearly, Cinderace isn't going to 1v1 Dragonite all by himself. So it would have really sucked for me to... it would have sucked if Cinderace somehow 1v1's Dragonite and then we're in a situation where we're facing down a scarfed Espeon. So I wanted to have... different things to punish Espeon for coming in on Spot Ops, who's my main hazard setter. So knock off first impression, because obviously first impression only works the first time you come in. Knock off, I can click that as many times as I want. Well, not as many times as I want. I can only click it 32 times, but that's beside the point. Wait, is it 32 times? I think it's 32 times. I think you get 32 PP on knockoff. I could be wrong about that, but you guys get the idea. I could click it a lot before I die. So we ended up losing Oswald to the Glamora. It is what it is. So our only option now is to go into Cinderace and just click Zen Headbutt. It is literally the only option we have. There's no switch-ins to it because, yes, the Espeon resists, but if any of y'all have ever seen Espeon's bulk, y'all know as well as I do, she does not try to... Listen, if it's a resisted physical hit, you're still taking over half, so I don't want to hear it. So... And then I'm pretty sure he's not going to Dragonite either because I don't think we've broken Dragonite's multi-scale yet. So, of course, if they go into Dragonite, they risk us breaking the multi-scale. And then only the Lord knows how much damage we're doing beyond that point. And then also, my opponent needs a 3-0 victory to make playoffs. So, that's why he's making... Because he even told me, like, if I'm not mistaken, I think after the game when we talked about it, he was like, yeah, I might have just sacked Glamora there if, not for the fact I needed a 3-0. Because I was not expecting him to just let me break the multi-scale for free, but he kind of had to because, once again, he needs a 3-0 or better to make playoffs. Which, honestly, explains a lot of the switches I've seen because, don't get me wrong, they're good switches. But sometimes I felt like they were kind of not necessary, if that makes sense. So I didn't realize, because when I went into this game, I didn't know that he could still make playoffs. I thought he was kind of out until I finally caught up with all the results throughout the league, and I was like, oh, homie actually still could have made it. That's kind of crazy. So right here, we kind of can only click Zen Headbutt again because Dragonite does not get dark coverage or ghost coverage or bug coverage, so it shouldn't be able to hit us super effectively. But we decided to just U-turn out because what I need to do is just whittle this thing down as much as possible. Like, that's kind of all I can do is just try to whittle this thing down as much as possible. And now we're going back into Peter Parker. And we're just going to... Honestly, I don't remember what the heck we went for. We might have went for the U-turn or we might have went for the knockoff. It kind of eludes me what we decided to do. Because I know there's multiple things that could happen right now. Dragonite could Dragon Dance and then Cinderace definitely loses to it. But I also know that Dragonite should not be able to two-shot us with anything it wants to go for. So, we kind of have 2 free turns, and when I say two-shot us, I mean even after it boosts up, it's not going to kill us with one hit. So They decided to Dragon Dance. They decided to Dragon Dance, which is why I do not regret clicking Circle Throw. Wait, hold up. Brandon of the past. You did click Circle Throw, right? Okay, past Brandon did click Circle Throw. All right, good stuff, Brandon. Good stuff. Good stuff. Common sense. You love to see it. All right, so I think I prayed on Espeon coming out, and it actually did. So I was just sitting here like, oh, yeah. So I decided in this moment we could just go for the free U-turn because, I mean, Dragonite and Glimmora, from where they are at, should be... Cinderace should be able to manage them, albeit... I think we need to chip Dragonite more because Zen Headbutt, Extreme Speed, they go first. I'm pretty sure we died at 2 Extreme Speeds from where we're at, so... We do have to play this very carefully because something I kept saying over and over again around this section of the video is just, dang, I don't really beat Dragonite anymore. I just do not beat Dragonite. However, towards this part of the video, I'm also thinking to myself, well, maybe there's a chance. And they decided to go for the T-Wave on us. And I'm just sitting here like, ain't no way. And I need you guys to understand this led to a spectacle. Because, look, we broke it the first time. So, okay. Espeon, oh, I forgot. We dropped U-turn for first we dropped first impression for U-turn as well. Oh my gosh, guys, I feel so bad. Like I really butchered Spidops' section in the team builder, I think. Yeah, this is also what happens when you try to post a video like almost 2 weeks after the battle. Honestly, the only reason it took me so long to even post this is because of the post commentary. Like, I've just been really busy. So to sit down for basically 30 minutes and try to post comment video, it's just been kind of hard to fit the time in. But, you know, we finally found a way to do it because, as you know, your boy takes pride in transparency. So they end up going back into the freaking Glimmora, who is about to take a Powerball to the face because I'm sitting here like, Glimmora could come in right now. Or Dragonite could come in, and I was, and in my mind, I was playing for two things. One, if Dragonite comes in on a Powerball and we burn you, oh boy, you're useless as I don't know what. Glimmora, if you come in on a Powerball, I knew from memory that it would be in range of Zen Headbutt. Honestly, we probably could have Powerballed it again and we would have killed it. So yeah, from here, Cinderace was looking pretty strong, but obviously the next mon is going to come in is going to be Dragonite. I'm not even going to try to sugarcoat it for you guys. It's kind of obvious Dragonite's going to come in over the Espeon. Otherwise, Espeon would have stayed in. So now I have a decision to make. Either I can U-turn expecting the Dragon Dance, or I can Zen Headbutt expecting him to set up. Because if he Zen Headbutts here, not Zen Headbutt, if he Dragon Dances as I Zen Headbutt, he puts himself in range of Spidops, who should still be healthy enough to take one hit from Dragonite and then turn around and take one hit from Espeon and thus win me the game if he Dragon Dances. However, if he attacks us here, I could just U-turn into Spidops, save Cinderace's health, whittle Spidops down with Cinderace, and then Cinderace comes back in and beats Dragonite later on. However, my opponent decided to go for the extreme speed, so we unfortunately got the 50-50 wrong. I know from y'all's perspective it doesn't look that way yet, but like I said, y'all about to bear witness to a spectacle. I can't even deny it. A spectacle. So, in my mind, right, Dragonite does not have the cojones to knock us out in 2 hits. And from where it is at, it looks as though if I can knock him off 2, maybe 3 times, I can kill Dragonite and thus win the game because Espeon is slower than Cinderace. Because I think we've seen them switch up moves, or even then, I don't think you run Scarf T-Wave. So, in my mind, we just have to hit this knockoff, not get paralyzed, all that. But as you can see, he goes for the extreme speed. I'm assuming he had no other move to hit us, and we get paralyzed. Guys, I'm going to just be honest with you. I'm going to just break the fourth wall already. This is going to happen a lot. And I get very vivid. I get very, very vivid. Because look at how well we're eating these hits from Dragonite. Look at how well we're eating these hits. And we just get paralyzed again. And this is very frustrating because I honestly think I'm Destroyer is an amazing coach. Like, he's an amazing coach, an amazing player, an amazing battler. Like, bro has won a handful of leagues in Gen 9. So I know he's, like, legit. Now, watch this. You see how the damage we do? You cannot convince me that the second knockoff would not have killed this thing. But anyway, I think he's a really solid coach. Like, he's a solid coach, right? He's really solid. He's really solid. And unfortunately, Spot Ops is going to, it's around the part of the video where I just started screaming into the mic that without all this happening, we would have definitely won the game. Can't no one tell me that we wouldn't win the game from right there. But you know, it is what it is. That is what happened. But back to what I was saying, I think my opponent is a really amazing coach, which is why I was very, very frustrated. As you guys, anyone who knows me knows, I was probably really pissed around this point, which I really was. Because, like, I think my opponent's really amazing, right? So when I play people as good as him, or at least in the caliber I put them at, you know, I really want to beat guys like that. So, yes, the game didn't matter, but at the same time, it's like you're a high caliber player, so I really want to beat you. And if I'm going to lose to you, I'd rather lose because I got outplayed instead of, I got hacked to death, you know? I mean, it is the yellow magic. We've used it before, so I can't be too upset about it. It is what it is. But it really is frustrating when you lose like that because a lot of the times when I click the yellow magic, it matters, but then it doesn't. In this game in particular, it 100% matters, but it is what it is. Thank you for tuning in. Even done already, please remember to like and subscribe. And until next time, peace out.